Hello everyone, I am SS the Showstopper and today is the 17th of September 2023. Beautiful Sunday, it's hot. I was on the road as early as possible and now I'm back home and I'm just making this quick video, okay? So there's a social media person that I see on the internet who goes by the name of Moya who uploaded a video. I don't know if it was an upload or a live, but I saw persons reposting it of her showing her disdain to people who are having a lot of kids. So now she was saying she was attacking people and saying that it upsets her to see people breeding up and having all these kind of kids and can't take care of them. And these kids coming into the world and they're suffering and stuff like that. That's why she doesn't go downtown in Kingston in Jamaica. Because it hurts to see all these kids on the road begging and stuff like that. And these mothers are constantly breeding up and they know they can't take care of it. And you as an adult who knows what it is like to be hungry. Imagine these are the kids that can't fend for themselves and they have to push out to be begging and to be working to make ends meet, and it's very unfair. So she was basically, reprimanding these women who are constantly breeding up and having all of these kids and not being able to take care of it. During my comment, I was a bit irate about it and I said, girl, shut the F up. You understand me? She lacks knowledge. You lack knowledge. You're ignorant. I'm just reading what I said. I said, girl, shut the F up. You are ignorant to the psychology behind it and you lack knowledge. Be careful. Life might humble you real quick. My reason for saying this is that this is a rhetoric that keeps throwing out there in the black community about women breeding up, women constantly procreating, having all these kids, and they are unable to take care of it. You see, the black community suffers so bad and it's mentally displaced in every area so much that when one person wants to have a leverage over someone, they go for the go-to arguments of breeding up, of not being educated, of not being this, not being that. You understand me? To have a one up on each other. And women who have a lot of kids are always an easy target to go after, especially if they're poor, if they're from at-risk community, if they're from volatile areas, informal settlements and all these things. They always are the easiest target to say that they're breeding up and they're having all these kids and they're unable to take care of them and they are the problem and they contribute to it. The reason I say that there's a psychology behind it is that you don't understand. When you don't understand something and you refuse to understand something, you're basically a fool. And nobody has time to educate a fool because it's easy. They say it's easier to get blood from wood than drive sense in a fool. How many times are we going to speak on the same issue about a woman who breed up then or is very prolific, having a lot of children and all this kind of stuff? How many times are we going to speak on it? When we say that a woman who has 5, 6, 7, 8 different kids for 8 different men or multiple different men is not a woman who is in a right state of mind. It's not a woman who is doing well. It's a woman who has problems, a woman who is going through serious problems, issues from childhood, and it plays into adult life and it affects her mentally. No woman out there wants to know that she's going to have a child and she's going to the hospital 5 different times, 5 different labor pain and stuff like that for different men who are deadbeat, who are not taking care of the kids. And then she's going back. Clearly, that's a woman with mental problems. And if it's 100 women out there, 100 of them have mental problems. Because we see what's taking place in the society, that a lot of these women are rape victims. They were molested as kids. They grew up without fathers. They grew up without loving fathers, I should say. It's not just having a father around, because a lot of the fathers were molesters themselves. Not growing up with loving fathers, respectful fathers, mothers who love and care for them. Their mothers were single parent, also who were abandoned by the men who impregnate them, and they come and have their kids, and their kids, those women were also abandoned by the men who got them pregnant. And so the cycle continues. It's like a curse. It continues, and someone has to break that cycle. But it's of the mind. They are mentally displaced people. I mean, all the people who are in post-slavery, who are going through serious financial difficulties and are living in squabbles, are mentally displaced people, politically displaced people, ghetto. You understand me? And because of such, people are going to resort to what makes them feel good. They can hop on a flight and go vacation in St. Bart's or in Nice or in Saint-Tropez or somewhere in Rwanda. They can't do that. They don't have the ability to do that. They don't have the ability to take even a taxi to go to a beach somewhere. Not everybody have that money. Not everybody have that escape route. Not everybody has that relaxed therapy or that release therapy to escape the situation that they are in. They are bombarded by 24/7. A lot of these people don't even know what it is like to go to a beach, to have a day of relaxation. Every day they have to think about their daily meal. And a lot of them, if they aren't educated and such, the next option is that they're going to sleep with someone and get some money to take care of it. And if the guy said, okay, he's in a position of power right there, so he's going to determine whether or not they use a condom or so. And then she got pregnant. She's pregnant for this guy. A lot of these women don't even know who the father is. So mentally displaced people are going to do mentally displaced things. You understand me? There's a psychology behind it. Yes, it has to stop. And I'm glad that it is stopping, because we are seeing a lot more Black women of few, melanated women who are having less children. I'm a mother of only one. Yes, my baby will be 18 years old and stuff like that. I've met so many guys, and the devil is very smart. What he did, he sent a lot of guys who were educated, guys who didn't have kids, guys who were single, guys who were doing very well and stuff like that. By way, thinking that, yeah, I'm going to jump up and say, yes, I want another child. I'm going to start a family with this guy. But when I get to know them, these guys were assholes, plain and simple. So it made no difference if they were wearing suit and tie, or they were pushing a handcart downtown, or they were calling people, scamming them for money, or they were a police officer. It makes no difference. The behavioral pattern of the guys were the same. Point is, I'm a mother of one, and I took a stand not to. Everybody is not gonna be that mentally strong and mentally resilient to say, okay, they have one or they don't have any, and they are not going to, because of such, because of this, because they are not rich, because they are not doing well, because they don't have a proper education to get a proper job, because they are not gainfully employed, because they do not have a sustainable income, because they don't have a home, they don't have a reliable motor vehicle, they don't have a business to generate an income, they don't have the thing. Everybody is not going to take all of that into consideration all day, every day, because people are what? Mentally displaced. People have serious psychological problems that they are dealing with. That's just the society that you live in. When people have a lot dealing with, they are going to do what? They are going to do a lot of ills. They are going to do a lot of things that are contrary. And I keep saying that the Black community is the only community in the entire world that is known for shaming people for being fertile. The Black community in the end, I was part of it at one point. I was stupid. I was one of those type of person who used to come and say, oh, that woman having up a lot of kids, that woman this and that woman that. And then life humbled me, where I started reading, I started researching, I started studying, I started finding books. There's a book called Black Liberals, yeah, White Rednecks. Black Rednecks, I'm sorry. It's a book by Thomas Sowell. I read it, okay? I read the book. It's called White Liberals, Black Rednecks. Black Rednecks, White Liberals by Dr. Thomas Sowell. I read the book, and it shows you what was taking place in every single society, every single race. Once they were mentally displaced, what happened to them? It also showed with slavery. No, yes, they didn't go through chattel slavery, but at the same time, like Black people, but at the same time, they went through an atrocity. And it shows how their society was right after things happened, right after certain things ended, right after atrocities, disasters ended for them. What was taking place in that society? The Black community is no different. They are going through theirs also. Mentally displaced people. The only difference is those people got a stimulus package, like a head start. It's like applying for a job. And the owner of the job decide that they're going to give you 2,000, 3,000 US as a head start. You understand me? Accommodation as a head start. No, you don't find the average person getting that as a job. You understand me? You have to apply. You have to buy your uniform or buy your own clothes. You have to buy your own food, pay your fare or your gas to go to work, buy your own lunch. All of that is on you. There's no head start. And it's the same thing that I'm referring to in the Black community. The Black community after slavery did not get a head start. They became apprentices, meaning that they work at will for free, for food, for this, for that. They got a dilapidated land in swamp areas they couldn't build on. So Black people did not get a head start at no point in time. The Chinese got it. The Indians got it. You understand me? A lot of these nations who went through deep atrocities got a head start after post-atrocities that came onto them. For example, in World War, the Jewish people, they got back a lot of their money. They got back land. They got all of these good stuff after the Holocaust that was taking place in Germany. Black people didn't get it. So Black people are still mentally displaced. There were no stimulus package. There was nothing to head start them, to pivot them. I remember Dr. Umar Johnson was speaking on it, and he was speaking what took place in America, with Italians, with the Irish, with all of these people who came into America, and these people were mentally displaced. They were committing a lot of crimes in the United States. And what took place after for them, black people didn't get that. It's the same thing in Jamaica. It's the same thing in other countries around the world, even in Brazil. They practice eugenics. That was their escape route to getting rid of poverty or to escape poverty was eugenics. Do you want eugenics to practice in Jamaica? You understand what I'm saying? Do you want eugenics to practice in Jamaica? If you don't know what eugenics is, go and research it. You understand me? In Namibia, they did eugenics also. They did it in Portugal. You understand? They did it in Argentina. That's why you have so much Argentinians white. Now I'm getting closer to the definition of eugenics. So when you're sitting down and you're coming at women who are fertile and women who are having 6, 7, 8 kids, yeah, we understand, but you have to look at the broader picture that this person simply isn't well. When you speak to a lot of these women, they are very aggressive. They're very violent because that's their defense mechanism, because they know people are going to come at them. They have been bombarded with it all their life. So they have no choice than to put on this bedbug shield of defense ready to go at you if you come at them. You understand me? They move from 0 to 100 very quickly because they're mentally displaced. So these are the behavioral patterns. Their body constantly release endorphins. You understand? So they're always agitated. It's like a needle that's constantly sticking them. So that's how they'll behave. And their release therapy is what? Is through sex, because that's the only time they will get a lot of pleasure, or some pleasure for that matter, if any. You understand? And it's a survival mode. Those people are in survival mode. Most of us are not living. We are just surviving. We're still into the animal behavioral instinct. You understand me? And it's a lot of it, and most of it is political. It's political reasons that contributed to it. My first video that I did on Sir P, of when a lot of people came at me, if you watch that video, when I said my message to Sir P and the Tivoli Gardens residents, a lot of people out of ignorance came at me, and because of such, my videos following, my preceding videos, I had to say that it's not for everyone. It's for people who are critical thinkers, because nobody was willing to sit down and listen to what I was saying carefully. That whoever put these people in the position, it's their duty to take them out. So sitting down and saying that these people want to be violent, or they want to add gun, and they want to this and they want to that. Someone put them there. They are mentally displaced people. They are living in a ghetto for a reason. Ghetto is a what? Is a community of politically displaced people. And whoever put them there, they are there and they form their own culture for over 40 years, for over 45, 50 years going. It's going to take another 50 years to get them out. Because guess what? You have to attack situations from inception. You have to attack situations from pregnancy. You have to attack family planning. You have to go after a lot. You understand me? Because if you take the oldest person that's living in that community, that's where it all started. So when you're going to sit down and you're going to ostracize a woman, and you're going to come at people and saying that they're sitting down, and please do some reading and some researching of what takes place, of what is happening everywhere in the world where people are poor and people are dilapidated in conditions and stuff like that. And you will see, we are seeing a shift in the paradigm right now, where, like I said, a lot more black women are having less children and stuff like that. And it's a good thing, because people have come to the realization and people have understand. There are some who are going to grow from it. And might I add, there are not a lot of women in ghetto or in volatile communities are not having a lot of kids either. Sorry, they're not having a lot of kids. I went also and I went also to one of the poorest communities in Jamaica, which is in St. Elizabeth, one of the poorest communities that's in St. Elizabeth. And a lot of guys there were not fathers. They had no kids. A lot of women there were not pregnant, were not mothers either. You understand what I'm saying? So we are talking about mentally displaced people who have been through a lot, who have been through abuse, who have been through so many things that they're fighting against all their life. You understand me? Versus people who are poor. So all the time, poverty doesn't contribute to it. Sometimes poverty contributes to it. You understand me? Other times, it's something much deeper. And in this case, what you are seeing is something that is much deeper. So Miss Moya, who is sitting down and you're coming at these women who are fertile, women who are having a lot of kids, always remember that there's a story behind it. Always remember that there's a situation behind it. I had a friend who had 3 kids, right? And I thought I was intelligent until I met her. She is well informed. She is well informed. She is so intelligent. She is bright. She speaks so eloquently. She had 3 children. And nothing wrong with having 3 children, 3 beautiful children. But when she sat down and she spoke her story, I'm not going to repeat the things that she went through as a child. Rape repeatedly as a little girl. As a little girl. Sometimes you don't know what these people are. Everybody has their story. Stop acting like you want to write people's story for them. Stop trying to write people's story or assuming people's life for them. Stop doing it. Black people have a tendency to love to sit in the position of being reprimanded, mummies, judging, ostracizing people. Stop sit in the position like you want to write people's story for them. A lot of us are mentally ill. A lot of us are going through deep psychological trauma. Where's our escape route? Where's the release therapy? Where are the counselors going into neighborhoods trying to find out what's happening? Where are the assistance that people need? The jobs out there, the creativity. A lot of Black people are creative, can do hair naturally like myself. Some can sew naturally like myself. That's a raw talent in me. I love to sew. I love to do hair, all that stuff. Cosmetics, makeup, those are natural talent that are in a lot of Black people. You go downtown Kingston, you see that. Where are the investors who are going to say that, okay, we're going to train these people, get them a certificate, we're going to put them on a work program or something overseas or somewhere? Where, you understand what I'm saying? Where are it? If it's not farm work to go and do this and do that, what the hell are they doing? You understand me? This is what is happening. There's no stimulus package. And so people have to survive. People are tapping into the animal instinct and just going about surviving and not living. And I remember Muta Baruka spoke about it years ago when you were saying that when you see some of these women downtown Kingston doing makeup and doing hair and women, you think they're coming from somewhere in Paris. You think they're off a show in Paris, and you're going to ostracize these women because they're poor and they're from dilapidated communities and struggles. But when you go and you watch a catwalk and you watch a runway shows and you see them doing hair and makeup, you're going to commend these people, and it's the same thing that they're doing downtown Kingston. It's the same thing as if not better. They just need the equipment. They just need proper training. They just need guidance. They just need grooming. If they aren't too far off or too broken beyond repair, they can be groomed. You understand what I'm saying? So be careful of what you're saying. People are trying to survive. Be careful of what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from through ignorance, and I understand what it looks like. But this is 2023. You can't be pushing the foot of ignorance. It's not going to save you. You can't be using that as an excuse to go at people. You understand me? Because a lot of people who are just as stupid are going to cheer you on. Hence the comment section that I'm looking at. Everybody was saying, truth hurts, you're speaking the truth. Imagine me have one of me a struggle. I don't understand. Yeah, we all struggle at some point in time. It matters not how rich you are. There's going to be some struggle. Once you're a parent, there's never a smooth sailing. There's never a smooth sailing through 21 years. That's just not possible while being a parent. You know, and so many people were coming at these women, and they were supporting you. I'm looking at the comment section right now, and they were supporting you. They're speaking from ignorance just the same. That's why I always say you have to be careful of what you're saying out there, because onlookers were just as stupid or just as ignorant to the truth and refuse. There's something called refuse. They refuse to educate themselves. There are so many research materials out there that can tell you what's taking place or what have been taking place with these people and the history behind it. There are so many, and you choose to come in 2023 foaming the same ignorance from your mouth and having onlookers who are just the same or even worse, don't know any better, feel the need to agree with your argument. You understand me? I get where you're coming from, but it's from ignorance. And I remember there's this guy named Adrian Conrad. He's on IG. He made a quote, and I live by that quote. Never let life humble you. Never let life humble you. You are saying things about these women. One day can be your turn. It might not be a situation where you have multiple kids. God can bless you with one child, and God take that one child from you. I remember when I was a little girl, there was a woman. I remember my mom used to go to this dressmaker, and she used to take us there. And when she comes in, because I think she used to work at the bank or something like that, and she was wearing her heels, and she, in the early 90s when, working at the bank is, you're elite. And she came in, she always came to the dressmaker, and she always like, turn up her nose at people who have multiple kids. And she was always cussing them and saying, how does someone have so much pitney and breed up? That woman used to say, you know what happened with her? She got one child, and God took that one child from her. That child died during childbirth. She contracted HIV. She met a rich guy somewhere, down the line. That guy gave her HIV. She died from full-blown AIDS. That was the end of her story. Be careful of what you're saying about people. Life has a way of humbling you. Be careful. Be careful. If you don't understand something in 2023, it's best to read, it's best to research, it's best to get yourself informed. Like I said, I was sitting in the seat of ignorance at one point because I don't know everything. But I started praying. I started asking God to give me wisdom, put me in a position of humbleness where I'm learning as I go along. I don't get up and judge and ostracize people without knowing the full story behind it. You understand? And so I think it's important for you all to do it. Black people, they say, are very spiritual people, but I'm not seeing a lot of spirituality in them. Less and less spirituality. I'm seeing more judging. I'm seeing more ostracizing. I'm seeing more criticizing. And it's all from ignorance. You don't know these people. This is not the first I'm speaking on this. It's the same thing with the story of Medic. People are saying some strange thing. People said it about Canis. I always speak on it. The things that people were saying about that girl when that guy killed her. That guy himself admitted to murdering the girl, and he didn't say those things. At no point did he say that she was eating him out. My point is, stop judging people without knowing their story. The Bible says judge righteously. So if you're going to judge, judge righteously. It also says judge not lest ye be judged. So you have to be careful of how you're coming at people. Be careful. Think again. In 2023, you can't be advertising sheer ignorance on the internet. And not because you have an audience. I always say not because you have an audience and you have a group of people supporting you, it doesn't make you right. You just have a choir. And that's it. That's why I say I don't move by a choir. I don't move by a congregation. Because it's quantity over quality. I'm sorry. Yes, it's quality over quantity. It's quality. So you can have 10 people who watch your video, 10 people watch my video, 20 people who watch it. But the type of 20 people who watch it are meaningful people. People who are actually going somewhere, people who can share positive images, positive messages, versus a whole bunch, quantity, a whole bunch of people with a bunch of nothingness behind them. They can't add, they can't make sense. They can't pick sense out of nonsense. They can't make sense of themselves, much less the topic that's at hand. So they speak from sheer ignorance. So be careful of what you're saying, Miss Moya. Be careful of what you're saying. Be careful and mind life humble you real quick. I've been through a lot in life. Some things that would drive a sane man mad. A lot of people have not survived it. I know people who committed suicide going through less than what I went through. I'm here today. I'm giving God thanks and praises. It's not easy on a daily basis. But at the end of the day, I'm here just the same. So I don't live my life judging and attacking people and coming off on people like that when I see things. I find out. I try to research. There must be something behind it. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. God bless you.